Good morning, everybody. This is not going to be a very long show, but it's going to be an important show. It's going to be an interesting show. We seem to have come across some information that I think needs to be shared. Now, I did share some of it with you yesterday evening. I had sent over through, I don't know if it was Rumble, but I think only on YouTube. I had uploaded photos of John Paul Miller on the day of April 28th, 2024, while he was on the pseudo altar of Soiled Mock Church, giving his announcement. And it seems that as he turned around, incredibly, absolutely incredible, talk about detail-oriented, Misty from Deadly Darlings podcast, and her show is mainly, I think, on TikTok, had taken notice of what looks like defense wounds on his neck. Now, interestingly enough, if you guys remember, there was some sort of a story on John Paul getting his necklace repaired, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that week. He went into the mall to the jeweler in question that we've all been a little suspicious of anyhow, to get his necklace fixed. Now, when you put together these marks and you put together the necklace issue, you kind of have to say, well, maybe John Paul was there. We have yet, till this day, a year later, been able to prove that he was anywhere else. It's only been said. It hasn't been proven. And a truck with dark tinted windows driving in one direction at one time of the day doesn't prove anything. One neighbor, or actually a few people in his neighborhood, however, have been able to prove otherwise. On the morning of April 27, 2024, him getting into his truck, John Paul Miller, seeing him on his driveway, getting into his truck, and leaving in a mad dash. So, with all of that being said, let's take a look first at a few photos of John Paul in different times to see what exactly, does he have an issue with, skin problems or any kind of thing like that where, normally there would be an issue. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see that clearly or not, but on the very top is the April 28th photo in question. Now, trust me, we're going to look at a better version of that in a second. On the bottom is 5 different dates. As you can see, there's 5 different shirts. And each one shows him in that position, looking in that direction while up on that pseudo altar. And I've looked at these carefully. I've zoomed in on it. And I can, if you like, I can make a little video out of it so that you can do the same. There is no marks. He's got a very clear skin on his neck. There's no acne. There's nothing. So we can't say, well, he's got a problem with his skin and he's known for breaking out. No, none of that. There's none of that. So in each photo, with the blue shirt, with the, I guess, tan shirt, with the, I don't know what those are. It looks like brown and black birds or whatever they are. With the maroon shirt, with the suit on, and on the bottom with the blue shirt, he has a clear neck, clear skin, no marks, no nothing. Okay. I want you to take that into consideration. Okay. Now, thanks to BoobTube, who always comes through for us, BoobTube has enhanced this photo of the back of his neck. Now, what you're seeing is the original, okay? We're not looking at the enhanced yet. So just watch carefully. I think it's going. I'm not really sure. Let me see. Yep, it's going. So keep your eye on the neck. Now it's sharpened and enhanced. So there's more than one mark. There actually seems, I see 3. Other people see 5. I see 3. There's bruising. There's slight scratching. And it does look like it's potentially someone grabbing the back of his neck. Now you take that and you mix that with ripping off a necklace. There's a potential fight. Where would this fight have happened? Where do you think this fight would have taken place? Okay, let's go back and remember what we've covered throughout this case. We'll look at it one more time. That's why he would not go to Robeson County. You're absolutely right, Debbie. You're absolutely right. That's right. Because he knew he was going to be looked at, and those marks would have been noticed. But there you go. Misty, great job, Misty. Excellent, excellent, excellent work. Now let's just talk about that for a second. We talked about Mica being lured to a place nearby the gas station. There was a car, and it was a white car, Mercedes-Benz 4-door, somewhere between 2015 to 2017. I can't remember if it was what class it was. Somebody had told me what it was. And it pulled up into the gas station, sat there for a little bit. Nobody got out, nobody got in, nothing happened. And as Mica was leaving, and I feel like we need to talk about this one more time, because now when we see this and you add it to what we know, it starts to fit the puzzle pieces. As Mica goes to leave the first time, same car, that white car, starts to go in the other direction, starts to make a right going behind the gas station. She starts to go in the opposite direction. As to leave the area of the gas station, both cars stop, as if they're communicating with each other. After a while, you see them sitting there for a couple of minutes. The white car takes off. Mica turns around and says, well, let me go get gas. Mind you, we're supposed to believe this is a person who's looking to take her life, but I digress. She goes and she gets gas, and we never see her again. Now, let me remind you that there's only maybe 2 miles away, Bethlehem AME Church, which is run by Pastor J.G. Randall, which happens to be a relative of Charles Randall, right behind, in the direction where that white Mercedes-Benz goes to. We've already calculated if she had been killed there, and I believe that she was, and many of us do believe that's where she was. Where did the picture come from? From April 28th, when he was on the altar. Anybody can get it. It's all over the place. Anybody who's ever taken any photos or video of him giving the announcement can get that photo. Anyhow, it'd take about 45 minutes to 50 minutes to get from the Bethlehem AME Church to Highway 74 and Ann Road. And then another 10 minutes from Ann Road and that corner to down Ann Road to the creek. And then from the creek to the slough, you're looking at another 10 minutes by boat. And so we've been able to fit all of it within the timeline. We've been able to prove that what she purchased at that pawn shop was not used on her. With the help of Robeson County. I don't know if they got her in the back seat. I believe she was not taken in North Carolina. I believe she was taken in South Carolina. So they would have had to have been in the back seat with her at the gas station, and they wouldn't have gone far. That picture is on a highway, and I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, Mary, but I just don't see that happening. I see her not going very far from that gas station. I think it happened within a mile or so from that gas station is where she was pretty much kidnapped and killed. And in doing that, I think there was obviously, and once again, let me just show it to you. It's right here. I think that there was a obvious fight. There is obviously a struggle. Cars circled and pulled out, watching her. Remember, there was a pickup truck. Very easily, that could have been John Paul waiting for her to do her business, go into the store, get her drink, do what she had to do, pay for it. You know, we don't know if the people even behind the counter were helping out, watching her, giving them an idea of when she was done. Okay, she's ready. She's walking out the door. You know, they were all in on it. You know, remember, John Paul pays people to do crap for him. You know, his dirty work. And I've always believed that he had somebody do this for him. But now, looking at this, I could see that I could see him being the one. I had no idea. I never looked at his neck. You know, I couldn't care less about his neck. I really couldn't care. I don't even want to look at him. I don't want to hear his voice. I don't want to know nothing. But I'll be honest with you guys. If I didn't see the other pictures, I wouldn't have been that convinced. But because Misty took out the time to take 5 photos from other sermons, right? And then you're able to look at his neck in those 5 sermons and go, this guy's got clear skin. It's clean. It's clear. There's not even one mark, not even a dot. You can't sit there and say, well, you know, he breaks out. He sweats on when he's under the lights or whatever. No, nothing. There's nothing. But this is April 28th. And if you don't believe me, you can go find a video or I can even go find it right now. The video of him giving that announcement. Yeah, I'm running on adrenaline. Yeah, there's 3 marks. Think about it. You've got your fingers going around and just looking to grab him. You're fighting for your life. Why they didn't take anything under her nails? Maybe they felt they couldn't because she was underwater, but it's just absolutely amazing. And I think that's one of the reasons why they put her in the water, to get rid of any DNA evidence. Get her as far, far away as possible. Remember what the speech expert, Jack Fox, said when he was given the announcement. It was like way up in North Carolina. He was he was trying to distance himself from the event in the announcement. So already he was working on letting everybody else know. Don't think of me being over there, Yeah, I see some in the hair area too. I do. But if you look at the big one, looks like the middle finger, and then you see two up by where this thing is up on the top. I don't know what that is. I think that's his mic. And that would be the pointer finger and the middle finger, and then the one in the middle, right, that's obvious, would be the ring finger. She was obviously fighting. If the feds see this, and you're probably going, you're going to share this with the feds, right? Of course, of course. If they don't already know, I would be surprised, but you never know. We can't not say anything. Who knows what's behind? Great question, Carrie. I don't know if we'll ever know that, but people brought up the necklace being broken. We know about that. Well, getting it fixed that week. What does this say here? The interview when he couldn't believe the guy suggested that he murdered her. Yeah. Well, he's not a very good actor. Let's put it that way. He didn't go for acting lessons. That's obvious. There was no way that I couldn't share this with you guys. There was just no way. Yeah, ding ding indeed. Yeah. So this will be I'm almost positive it has already been shared with the authorities, but I'll make sure that it does. She was very physically strong. I have the feeling that she was. First of all, she was young, in good shape, and probably pissed off. This was, again, thank you for asking. This was Misty from Deadly Darlings podcast on TikTok. And I've seen her before. I've seen some of the stuff that she works on TikTok, and somebody tagged me on TikTok and showed me the original photo, the original one, where it has the picture on the top. And I said to her, can you send me that photo, just that photo, which is this one here that we're looking at? She said, sure. And I said, would you mind if I send it to somebody to get it? Yes, Misty Gypsy Darlings, that's right. And I said, would you mind if I sent it to somebody to get enhanced? She said, no problem. So naturally, I went to BoobTube. And I said, I feel so bad always asking BoobTube to do my work. I was like, I know you're good at this. Could you please enhance this video? And so, of course, naturally, BoobTube took it, and within a day sent it back to me and said, well, here you go. And the both of us were, I don't even know how to explain the emotion. It's just when you're looking at this and going, my God, she really had to fight all the way to the end. And there's a bunch of emotions. There's rage. I've been enraged probably for the past 24 hours. I haven't slept much. I slept a little this morning. That's why I'm a little late this morning. But I've had my conversations with God about this, wanting to do a few things to John Paul, but that's not up to me. It's not up to me to give him consequence. That's God's doing. I don't hate him. We can't hate this man. We can't hate him. We can't hate the wicked. That's not up to us to do, because then we're just as bad as they are. I pity him now, because every time I step back and go, it's the most amazing thing, guys. I got to tell you, Lord, if there's anything about John Paul that he's innocent. If this is an innocent man, Lord, please show me. And then he sends something else. And this was his answer. He keeps answering me with more evidence. So now my question to you, Lord, is, okay, you obviously want us all to see what this man has done. Are you going to, Lord, now make him pay for it? Because let's go over what does the word say about murder? What does scripture say about murder? I'll read it to you. Well, we know in Exodus 20:13, you shall not murder. That's obvious. Leviticus 24:17, whoever takes a human life shall surely be put to death. Let me see, 1 John 3:15, everyone who hates his brother is a murderer, and you know that no murderer has eternal life abiding in him. Let's see. Matthew 5:21, you have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders will be liable to judgment. Exodus 21:12, whoever strikes a man so that he dies shall be put to death. Genesis 9:6, whoever sheds the blood of a man, by man shall his blood be shed, for God made man in his own image. I mean, this goes on and on and on. On and on. I mean, the Lord is basically saying that he's for capital punishment, for crying out loud. This is where John Paul went wrong. This is where he went wrong. Hatred. He hated. He had hatred in his heart. If he could have just let her go and let her live her life, she'd still be here and he would be fine. But because of the hatred in his heart, she's gone and he's going to have to pay for it. Yes, it did pull to the back of her body. It says posterior. Yes, and Carrie, I believe that the reason for it to pool like that, so you have to go according to temperature, which was cool. There's cold, cool, and warm, right? And hers was cool. They checked off that she was examined at scene. So this is at scene. At scene, she was cool. At scene, it was posterior pink. Now, the first stage is usually blotchy. There was no mention of blotch. It just said pink posterior, livor mortis. There was something else, too, that also had pointed to the fact that she had to have been on her back longer than 30 minutes. So that fits the narrative of her passing away by the gas station and being transported, already gone, on her back from that area of Mullins, South Carolina, to Lumber River State Park. The reason why we're getting pings to her cell phone is because she's wearing that watch. So as they're passing by with her body, because it was 72 degrees outside, and it is fitting with time, and it is fitting with the temperature. That's why. She's got that watch in her hand, or on her wrist rather, which is connected to her cell phone. So as they're passing by, this is the last signal that rapid SOS is able to pick up before she goes into before her watch and cell phone go into the dead zone. They can't get a signal in the dead zone. So when they sent it out at 3:20, the last known signal is going to be in those two places. And it just so happens to be in the vicinity of that Anne Road area. Anne Road and the Princess Anne Road. It's so funny, everything about Anne. So now it really, we know that she ended up in the slough. Okay. I don't care if a UFO landed her there. Okay. The fact is that she was found there. Okay. But we do know that she was on her back for quite some time. She had to have been, because if she had been laying forward in the water for a long period of time, there would have been livor mortis in the front, her face, her neck, her chest, and there's no mention of that. None. So, yeah, he most likely was physically there. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. And let's remember this, okay? Let's not forget Johnny Jacobs. Johnny Jacobs, his own family after his death, had admitted on Facebook that he was being threatened by this man for months before he died. So, there you go, guys. The broken necklace, the marks on the neck, the livor mortis on the back, the pings to those areas. The constant answer, that's the part I can't get over. Every time I try to walk away, what is that Godfather saying in Godfather 3? Every time I try to walk away or something like that, they pull me back in. It's like every time I go, Lord, there's nothing else to report on. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to mention. Maybe now it's time to take this guy in. And he finds something else that just confirms. And I don't know why he feels the need. There must be a reason. God has, his thoughts are above our thoughts. There's a reason why he needs to confirm to all of us why he wants us to see all this, which leads me to think that he's going to, whatever he's planning to do, there has to be a, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me, Lord. He's like trying to prepare everyone. He's trying to prepare everyone for why he is going to respond the way he responds. He's like laying the yellow brick road down. Justified. There's like a justification. Yeah, his justice will, no doubt. But like I said, every time I go, Lord, if there's any innocence in this man, please show me. And then something like this will show up. Who was related? Johnny's family also verified that he was related to a park employee. Who is related to the park employee, Matthew? Johnny or JP? Johnny. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I could see that because we always believed that the three of them worked together. Johnny Jacobs, what's his name? Tommy Walters, and Charles McKinnon. And the reason why Charles McKinnon's name comes up is only because of what Johnny Jacobs said. Johnny brought him up. We didn't bring him up. He said 1:30 he called his friend Charles or Charlie or whatever. And so it just came out that it was Charles McKinnon. We would have never mentioned this guy at all if Johnny hadn't said it. These guys, they flap their gums throughout this whole time, and then they wonder why all these people are talking. Well, you guys gave it to us in a silver platter. What did you want? Anyhow, here we go, guys. So this is the latest update on the Mica Miller case. This, again, was found by Misty Gypsy. of the Deadly Darlings podcast on TikTok, and I'm sharing this with you now. BoobTube TV was kind enough to enhance it for us in the show today. And I really do believe this has already been shared with the authorities, but I will share it myself just to make sure. Okay. I'll share the original photos that I showed you earlier today in the show, and then I will share this. So there you go, guys. That is the show for this morning. Okay, so here we go. Johnny is related to Lisa Jacobs. Lisa's partner is the maintenance man. Okay. Now, is the maintenance man Tommy Walters, or is it somebody else? Matthew. Just wondering. Hi there, Johnny. Yes, Shannon. You know, I'm glad you bring that up. There's two women behind the counter. Mica, Randall, and someone else. I'm wondering if the reason why they sent that photo was so that they could recognize her. You know what I mean? And say, yeah, this is her. I did see that, by the way. I did see that. And I really believe that the girl behind the counter, behind her, the younger one, was also doing something on her phone. Joshua Johnson. Okay. Well, I would not be surprised. Somebody had mentioned they believe 5 people are involved. I believe many were involved. I remember, I want to bring up, because I wasn't very clear. I was very tired yesterday. I'm much better today. If you guys remember the video I played for you of the young lady that was talking about being on the phone with her sister, and she mentions 839. For clarification, she did not say that Mica said 839 in the phone call. She said, I wonder if I could find that for you. Let me find that for you real quick. Hold on. Be patient with me. Be patient with me, because this is an important thing to bring up. This is important. Let me see. It's not going to take long to find. Here we go. Here she is. Okay. No speaky. Hold on for a minute. All right. So let me go back to you guys. All right. So let me get there for you. Now, I want you to pay attention to what she says about the 839. I'm going to bring that up to you in a minute. Listen to what she says her sister says about the 839.
Really just hang in there, and y'all about to hear some shit. So I just discovered this thing about the Mica Miller woman that died yesterday. Now, on Tuesday, me and my sister was on the phone. We talked for an hour and 30 minutes. The call came in at 6:11 p.m. Why? While me and my sister was on their phone, she told me, stop. She said, hold on, you don't hear that? And I said, hear what? I don't hear anything. And I'm getting creeped out because I'm like, what is she talking about? I'm at home by myself. She said, someone's calling 911 and they're talking about they're lost in a national forest. And then I went to say something. She said, wait a minute. She said, I'm trying to get the number. It's an 839 number.
I'm trying to get the number. It's an 839 number. I need to speak to this woman. She's not saying that it's being said. So I don't know how she's trying to get this number. I don't know if she's seeing it somewhere. I don't know what she's using. Is she using a VoIP? I have no idea. Is she on the internet? I have no idea. I don't even know if she's prophetic. But I need to speak to this woman, because when I heard that, I went, that's not her saying she hears it in the call. That's her saying that she's trying to get this number. How is she trying to get that number? By the way, this is also from Misty Gypsy, as you can see, from Deadly Darlings podcast. 839 was found to be in the same vicinity as a Facebook page from Reginald Miller. I believe that a VoIP call, this was an organized, I believe that okay, let's start from the beginning. Once again, I'm going to go quick synopsis. I believe that John Paul Miller was served on the 25th, and that sparked everything. That got the wheels in motion. And that put everybody in position. So the 911 call was made from that area at a specific time. She was lured from her apartment before she went to this meeting that she was supposed to meet, probably lured there to sign divorce papers and get it over with. I'm just assuming. Could be any reason that she was lured there by John Paul. She goes and gets herself something for protection, as her father said. She gets this thing for protection. She has her lunch with her because she plans to go to work. She goes and stops at the gas station for a drink. She gets herself gas, and she's told by whoever's in that white car, come and meet us at the church around the corner. And she, okay, let me get gas. She goes and gets gas. She goes and meets at this church. I don't believe it was done in the car, because there would be holes in the car. There would be blood in the car. There would be evidence in the car. I think that was at the building. Yeah. And so it was all timed, And as they're approaching the area and getting ready to put her in the water, the call is made. The bag is dropped. The stuff is dropped. It was all done within a specific time frame. And that's why Johnny Jacobs was the one who was to make sure that the law enforcement found her and not to leave her there. Why? Because they wanted it recorded that she was gone. Yeah. The VoIP call was made in the 839 area code. Yeah. But I'm trying to figure out what does she mean by she's trying to get the numbers? So I got to figure out, I got to talk to someone who deals with VoIP calls. No, it's not landline. I got to find somebody who deals with VoIP calls and how you could pick up when you're getting a data leakage in a data leakage call, because I don't know, this woman could be for all we know, a techie. We have no idea. We don't know what kind of device she's talking on. So maybe she's got the ability to see numbers coming in or not. We don't know. Maybe it was just she misspoke. I have no idea. Maybe it was the Lord. I mean, he's been doing crazy stuff through this whole freaking case. We will be stunned. Who is all involved? They will all be exposed. I believe that, Mary. I believe that. Hold on. Let me tell my husband. I'll call you right back. Okay, so he's calling, so that gives me an indication it's time to end. We're at 39 minutes. So I really do believe that we have, I believe it's planned and practiced. I believe that it was, yes, I agree with you. Nan of many. The date they were speaking on the phone was May 7th, which happens to be the very day that Robeson County had put out their the conclusion of their investigation. So we don't really know. It's already been proven that you can hear with a data leak through a VoIP phone call, you can hear snippets of an old phone call. So yes, it is possible to hear an old phone call 10 days later. So there you go. So I don't think that the woman is lying about what she's hearing. That part, I need to know why she's saying that. So put your little hands together and pray that she responds to me and gives me an answer. I'd like to speak to the sister. I really would. So I hope that I get that answer. It doesn't make or break the case either way, but it would be nice to find out. So guys, thank you for joining me. And anything new comes up, you will see me again. If not, you will see me Monday. I would like to go over the other things that I wanted to discuss with you, which are current events. We've got a lot going on with Doge. We got a lot going on with Social Security and the big, beautiful bill. We got a lot going on with black fatigue. We just got a lot of stuff going on in our world. And guess what? It does affect what happens with justice. When these things are handled and dealt with, it also will have an effect on us getting the justice we're seeking. So, it's all hand in hand. Anyhow, thank you for joining me this morning. And until I see you guys again, please stay safe and God bless.